there's one clip I can pull from Dr. Umar's thoughts about Kanye, probably somewhere on YouTube if chat will help. Oh, dude, give it to me, bro. What the fuck, Dr. Umar? Chat. I know. We got a fuckload of Caucasian people in here. But there's got to be some black chatters who can fucking figure this out. Okay? I'm surprised that there isn't more people bringing this up in my stream right now. God damn. It's just yet another instance where we recognize how Caucasian this chat is, that this happened and I didn't even hear about it. I didn't even know about it. You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Love this. Okay, let's see. Let's get started on this. This is a good point to start.
Interracial relationship that was acceptable to you?
No interracial relationship is acceptable because we have too many black women who are unmarried. Black women are the largest population on the planet Earth. If you can't find one in America, get it from Africa. If you can't get it from Africa, go to the Caribbean, go to Canada, go to Europe. Why would a black man need to copulate, build a family with anything other than a black woman when you have so many black women available? It is an exercise in self-hatred. There's no way.
Bro, he did not stutter, okay? He did not stutter. He just fucking, god damn, he just popped off on that. I think Murad is here. Murad? What the fuck? You didn't tell me you were coming? Okay.
Way to get around it.
Do you think Kanye West, if he had a black woman, things would be different?
Oh, absolutely. I think Kim Kardashian used him. And the fact that they're making that man pay $200,000 a month in child support.
That's a crazy take, bro. The irony, of course, is that a black woman is using Kanye West and has played a more formative role in his demise than Kim Kardashian has. I know it's fun. I know it's fun to say, oh yeah, Kim Kardashian sucks. I agree. But Candace Owens is the real reason why Kanye West is getting canceled. He's getting canceled because he's right wing as fuck and then became a Nazi. But who made him right wing? Who took advantage of his vulnerabilities? Candace did. Also, what's going on? Kane missed a fucking goal. He missed it, Harry Kane. Are you fucking kidding me, Harry? How do you miss a penalty? The referees, we paid for that penalty, Harry Kane. We paid for it. How do you miss the penalty? You fucking cunt. You muppet. Screw your head on right, Harry. Clandis doesn't love him or care about him. Umar is referring to the difference in white love and black love. Okay, I know what Dr. Umar is doing. He's just using this as an opportunity. Fifi, Fifito, hello. I know what Dr. Umar is doing. He's just using this is another opportunity to say Dr. Umar shit. Okay? He sings a wildly different tune when he's getting caught at the fucking Panda Express in the local New Jersey mall. Okay? Do as I say, not as I do, huh, Dr. Umar? We know.
When both he and the wife are billionaires are absolutely ridiculous. I think they want to break him. And although I don't agree with the way in which Kanye articulated some of his thoughts, I appreciate the fact that he was the first black man since Michael Jackson to speak truth to power, to specifically identify certain communities of Europeans who have exploited gangster rap, black entertainers, and other people since its inception, and nobody has called.
But come on, bro. I mean, of course he's running the fucking lineup too, but it's it's not certain communities of Europeans. First of all, you're it's all, okay. It's just it's so silly. I guess it's it's not even just all Caucasians. It's just literally just rich people. Okay. Of course, the origins or the inception of that still does come from mostly white people, white rich capitalists. But it's crazy.
them out. He's the first.
Yeah, when he drops the certain communities in there, he's just trying to say Jewish without saying Jewish, like, which is, you know, not that surprising that Dr. Umar is saying that. Let's be real, but like.
To do it since Michael Jackson. But when Michael did it, he wasn't in his prime. Kanye did it in his prime.
I can't give Kanye no respect because I've never seen a black man seek more white validation than Kanye was.
Well, that's the issue.
That is one of the most self-hating black men on the
Kanye
planet.
is not choosing a side. One day, it's about saving our people. The next day, you on a date with another snow bunny. One day, it's about helping the oppressed. The next day, you're campaigning for Donald Trump. One day, it's about being independent. The next day, I'm hearing about you going into business with some white man. Make up your mind. I think Kanye is trying to figure out where he is. But he got to make up his mind because you're too helter-skelter. And at this point, I'm going to be honest with you. Although I appreciate Kanye's honesty, I think most of his agenda is about Kanye. And I'm going to say that because when I look at our black billionaire class, whether it's Kanye, whether it's Oprah, whether it's Jay-Z,
he's not in that class
whether
no
it's
more.
Tyler Perry, even if he's no longer in that class.
Dude, oh my God. Charlemagne is so petty. This is a unique opportunity for Charlemagne that, like, where he could just like keep shitting on Kanye relentlessly and not look bad. Like, he is going to automatically look good in the situation. I want to say I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you. No cap. Keep grinding. Thank you, Major Deegan.
None of them, LeBron, Puffy, none of them have built an independent black institution for the black community anywhere in this country. Not one.
How many lashes would Kanye get?
Kanye would probably get, I'm still working on Kanye lash count because I want to see where he ends up. I need him to make up his mind and then stay there.
Okay.
And I need him to be a little bit more articulate with what he says because although I think Kanye is on the right track, he's not articulating himself well enough. He's not controlling his public narrative. So when I do interviews like this or any interview, I go out of my way to be careful with my wording so nobody can try to use it against me later. You have to try to control your narrative, and he will get.
Yeah, that's why he said European communities, certain European communities.
On a platform and say some things that he may not even believe just for the shock value, and you're now giving the media the opportunity to brand you something that you are not.
That's even worse to me though. If you don't even have no real intention.
Dude, Dr. Umar is so, I mean, he's crazy, obviously, but he's so fucking, he is so charismatic. It's crazy. It's like Alex Jones. Like, same shit. You know what I mean? It's just true. You can't deny that, okay? You literally cannot deny that. He has an insane level of charisma in tune with Alex Jones. Like, as a performer, as an entertainer, even though he's not, obviously, he is so, I mean, there's a reason why there's a million motherfuckers that have even congregations that say Hotep shit, you know what I mean? Or say incredibly conservative things or black nationalist things or black separatist things or whatever. But there's only one fucking Dr. Umar. You know what I mean? He's just, I don't know. He is so fucking captivating. And also pretty funny at times. But again, it's just like, well, this is, you know, he is not singing a frequency that white people that look at him are going to understand anyway. Like, most white people are going to be like, oh, man, this guy's being racist to white people or whatever. You know what I mean? So, Dr. Umar or Farrakhan? Oh, Dr. Umar, 100%. Dr. Umar is definitely more charismatic than Farrakhan. That's not even a question. Dr. Umar is, like, up to date with the memes. Farrakhan is just Farrakhan. I don't know how else to describe it. He is way more charismatic, in my opinion, than Tariq Nasheed, too. They're infantilizing Kanye West by trying to re-explain what he said. He said what he said. People need to take it for what it is. The president will never sit down with Umar so we can laugh at this. He has no institutional power because he's black. Yeah. That is true.
You don't even know what the hell you're saying. That's so anti-intellectual.
Well, the issue is Kanye, I think he's very brilliant, but I also think he's dealing with some unaddressed mental health issues as well.
That is true. That is true. You said none of them have built institutions.
And I would not put him on the same level as a Kyrie Irving because I believe Kyrie is 100% genuine in his thinking. I think he's very thought out, and
I agree with that too. Like I said, I think Kyrie Irving is just like kind of a genuine dumbass, whereas Kanye West is more so like both a dumbass and narcissistic in a similar capacity. These guys are super famous. Obviously, they're going to have that, right? But is more in it for his own personal benefit, whereas like Kyrie Irving is literally like, I don't know, I was just trying to be woke. You know what I mean? Like, he's just, like, I think, and this corresponds to, like, what I've heard from other people that have, that know Kyrie Irving, that have talked to Kyrie Irving. Like, everyone always says he's like a very nice person, a very genuine, caring person. He's just not very smart and thinks that he is, like, found something that other people, it's like, everybody knows a guy like this, okay? Someone who is like a nice person otherwise, but like thinks that they are in on shit that other people are not in on. Like they're endlessly looking for unique contradictions that no one else is aware of, and they think that they are the only ones who are in on it. Like they figured it out. All you need to know about Kyrie Irving is that he was a flat earther. That's it. Like that ends the conversation, I think.
I think Kyrie does a good job of controlling his narrative. And
he's not anymore. He said he was wrong about that.
I think that community that tried to destroy him could be accused of being hypocritical because Jeff Bezos, the $139 billion owner of Amazon, has just issued a statement a few days ago. They're not removing the DVD.
Oh no, that wasn't Jeff Bezos. That was the other. That was the current CEO of Amazon.
Okay, but Jeff Bezos is still the owner, isn't he?
He's got a percentage in it, but it was the current. The person who made that statement was the current CEO of Amazon.
Current CEO, Jeff Bezos, whoever. Amazon is not pulling a DVD. They have not been accused of being anti-Semitic. They have not been accused of being racist. They have not been accused of being a hate monger of any other people. So
that's a good take. That's a good take. He's right. No, he's right though. It's not like, yeah. I mean, it does show you where people's. It shows you where people's like interests are. You can say. Look, you can say that it's because like it's not a singular individual; it's an entire platform or whatever, and it's easier to like shit on a singular individual. But you can't deny that. Like, what's infinitely worse? One guy promoting it with a large platform, or the platform hosting it? You know what I mean? Yeah, the platform hosting it is still going to be worse. Him being right on this does not mean he's right on everything else. For the record, I don't know why I would ever need to explain this, but of course, I am a firm believer that if you would like to have a consensual adult relationship with people from different backgrounds and different races, you should be able to do so. I am not, anti-miscegenation, but on the other direction. So there is that. Hold on.
If Kyrie can be accused of all that for sharing a video that he was not in, how is it that Amazon gets none of the smoke when they said they're not going to pull the video?
They've been getting smoke.
Jonathan Blatt was up.
Jonathan Greenblatt
was here yesterday, and I asked him that same question.
What he said?
And he said they have been giving him the smoke.
What's the smoke they gave?
They wrote him letters, the same thing they did.
They wrote him a letter. But they tried to destroy Kyrie's career, not no damn letter.
But they also said that it's illegal in what state? In Germany?
In Germany. That's a country. In Germany.
The country to actually have that.
I guess so in Germany.
Because of the denazification of Germany. I forgot how he worded it. I think he was saying that
But Amazon is global. That's one country.
Yeah, that's why.
So because they can't sell it in Germany, it's acceptable.
They don't want it up, period. But
But where is the media campaign by them to crucify?
So we can say the same thing for all the illegal corn on the internet? What do you mean? What? No, the people that shoot it are responsible. The platforms that allow it to continue are responsible, especially if they don't make an effort. Yes. This is literally why Pornhub got into a lot of fucking hot water. Yeah. I think he meant illegal porn. But yeah, every website has a very, very serious responsibility in stopping the dissemination and further distribution of pornographic material, 100%. So, pornographic material that is illegal, of course. So, yeah, that is their responsibility. There's laws against it. They will get into fucking serious trouble. Oh, he meant search Corn Wars 2021. Wait, what? Stop.
Crucify Amazon the way they crucified Kyrie for sharing the video that Amazon is making millions of dollars off.
I will say
that's hypocritical.
I will say this, Dr. Umar. I feel like sometimes
we can't be selective moralists,
I'm with you, but I think sometimes we, as in black people on social media, make these stories bigger. Because if we wanted, like the Brett Favre situation, Amazon, if we talked about those situations like we talk about other things, we would create those campaigns.
But the white media made Kyrie's situation an issue. So if you're going to make it an issue for Kyrie, white media, make it an issue for Amazon, white media.
I mean,
he's not right. I mean, he's not wrong. He's literally right. This is correct. I mean, he might have different reasons as to why he's like hitting this take, but he's not wrong. Like, he's saying what Chatter was talking about this. Okay, bro, chill. What the fuck? I can't believe I clicked on that. Who's the white media? No, he's not saying Jews there. He's talking about fucking like actually a overwhelmingly white media that reinforces white supremacist dominant narratives. Like, he's talking about how like people got so mad about Kyrie Irving, which is understandable why people got mad about Kyrie Irving. And then that same energy was not directed towards Amazon, which refused to take down the actual fucking the movie from its platform. And Amazon was like, nah, fuck off. And the very same people that were like, oh my God, I can't believe Kyrie Irving, like, holy shit, he should never play basketball again, did not fucking turn around and say or have that same energy for Amazon. England lost. It's not coming on. Fucking England, lad. Fucking hell, mate. Fucking hell, mate. All right. Anyway, let's get back to Dr. Umar Johnson talking about Deion Sanders, TJ Holmes, interracial relationships, and the Snow Bunny controversy that he found himself in, I think. I hope he talks about that, too.
I mean, the white media did report on it when the ADL report.
It didn't get the same energy.
No, it didn't get the same
I think
energy.
it did not get the same energy.
I really think
it's a double standard.
I think that's because of what we talk about.
And
I really do feel that way.
Anybody who practices selective morality, whether you're a European Jew, whether you're a revolutionary Pan-Africanist, whether you're a socialist, a Christian, a Muslim, a Hebrew, selective morality is hypocrisy. Because what I'm saying, if Envy does it, it's wrong. And he should be punished. If Charlemagne does it, it's okay. Amazon is still selling it. They have yet to be branded by the ADL or anybody else as anti-Semitic. That's hypocrisy.
That's one of the questions.
It's hypocrisy.
That's one of the questions I asked Jonathan Greenblatt. I said, it feels like when we do something, there's consequences for it. So I asked him, how do you punish that level of white privilege? How do you punish it, Donald Trump?
They're not going to punish it because at the end of the day, white supremacy requires commitment and loyalty from all groups of white people. They
want to protect Kanye so bad. I mean, bro, he's not wrong. Like that. This is the thing. Like, Dr. Umar, much like Alex Jones, can grab on to obvious contradictions, like an inherent hypocrisy built into the system. Dr. Umar is not wrong when he talks about white supremacy. That's why he is a very complicated, oftentimes memed individual. He is definitely very wrong on a lot of other shit, though, okay? And usually he uses the parts that he's not wrong on, okay, to then sell the parts that he is wrong on, okay? That's it. That is the exact same thing that like Alex Jones does. That's the exact same thing that Andrew Tate has done. This is how it works. you grab on to things that are demonstrably true, okay? And you point them out and you say, look at this. This is fucking bullshit. Like, do you not see this? Come on. And then he will add on the ridiculous things, that black men should not marry outside of their race. But he baits you in with the other stuff. Not you, of course. I mean, like I said, he's a funny and sometimes a uniquely charismatic individual. That's why there's a lot of memes around it. Well, when I say not you, of course, I mean because you're white. Let's be real. White people either don't know about Dr. Umar, or when they hear Dr. Umar, they're already conditioned into like thinking, oh, this guy is like, I'm not gonna listen to anything he's saying. He's black. A lot of white people immediately are conditioned into going, oh, that's a black guy, and he's yelling loudly because of their social conditioning and previous understandings of racism. They go, okay, not listening to this dude. I'm moving on. It's the truth. This is black people business. 100%. That's why people always say, don't get into black people business. Is it meaningful, harmful for black people to tell other black people not to be romantically involved with non-black people? No, it's not meaningfully harm. It's not meaningfully harmful. He brainwashed my little cousin. He's super red-pilled now. Yeah. You know, there are a lot of Hispanics in this chat, right? There are. Dr. Umar is not Latino. So I don't know what that means. We're talking about, I don't mean to get all like BIPOC here, but there is a reason why there is a distinction here. Point out this guy's no more crazy than Alex Jones, but tons of people will say, well, Alex Jones says some insane shit to make his insane takes more palatable. Wait, no, that's precisely what it is. Also, he does not have the institutional power that Alex Jones has. Okay? Dr. Umar is not interviewing Barack Obama before Barack Obama becomes president on his like insanely popular radio show. You want to know why? Because he's black. Okay? And black people do not have institutional power. And black people that advocate for black separatism even, okay, or black nationalism, or any kind of, or just uplifting black people are never going to reach the same level of prominence that white people who either promote overt or covert white supremacy. That's how this works, okay? This does not mean that he doesn't say insane shit all the time. He does, of course. But there is a varying degree. There is definitely a genuine difference between the amount of impact that someone like Dr. Umar could have. I just enjoy his TikToks, man. No, I mean, he's great. He's funny as a meme overall. Unless you're Candace Owens, I mean, again, that's a great example. Candace Owens works for white supremacy. Candace Owens' rhetoric is more damaging than Dr. Umar's rhetoric. Why? Because white supremacy is already the system that is in place. So when you're advocating for the system that is inherently violent, we all understand that. The systems that we exist under are inherently violent. There's structural cruelties. There's structural violence, poverty, right? There is systemic violence within the criminal justice system. There is then direct violence, like state violence, that is normalized, disproportionately harmful to black communities and brown communities, poor communities in general. So when you reinforce that, when you say that's good and we need more of that, like Candace Owens does, or when you justify and legitimize the abhorrent instances of state violence, like police brutality, that most people even recognize is not normal, is above what is acceptable, okay? Because a lot of people think that it's acceptable. Let's be real. When you normalize that, or when you desperately try to make like Derek Chauvin not look like a murderer, you're working for white supremacists. Your goal is to spread a white supremacist narrative. And white supremacy is already the basic default social conditioning, which is why people that lean into that basic default social conditioning are always going to have more influence, more reach, and more institutional power than people who are speaking out against it. That's why when you talk about Dr. Umar, the most damaging parts of Dr. Umar are parts that also correspond to pre-existing forms of oppression. Internally, when Dr. Umar talks about white supremacy, he is speaking out against the system. When Dr. Umar talks about what women should be doing in society, he is speaking for the system, a patriarchal system. Okay? Anyway, we're going to get back to Dr. Umar in a second. Anyway, let's keep watching.
Have their internal differences, but at the end of the day, they all agree that black people must be kept in their place. The Kyrie and Kanye issue was more about suppressing free speech for heterosexual black males than it was about anti-Semitism or anything like that. Look at Tiffany Cross. She said something on your show. They cut her. They made Jalen Rose take back what he said about the fact the woman at the heart of the Ime Udoka scandal has never been exposed. She cheated on her husband. Why is Ime Udoka all over the media, but the white woman who cheated on her husband is not all over the media? It's a double standard, and we are not calling out the double standard. If wrong is wrong, it should be wrong for everybody. This is not about right or wrong. This is about suppressing the First Amendment freedom of speech rights of heterosexual black males who do not endorse the European narrative. That's what it's.
I mean, he's just trying to make it work in the identical, just like Alex Jones was trying to make Kanye's narrative work for Alex Jones. Dr. Umar is doing the exact same. Dude, he is literally like Alex Jones. And I both mean that as a negative and a positive. You know what I mean? It's very interesting to see. Really.
I'm not against any of that.
Hasan supporting the Euro narrative. Weird. Oh, shut up.
You said the only thing I'd push back on is, man, I do not like seeing people prop up Kanye West, bro. Because Kanye West is the most anti-black Negro out here. And I do not like when people just...
Why do you say that? Why do you say he's so anti-black?
Look at him. Look at who he chooses to be with.
Come on, dude. He is so obviously trying to grift off Kanye here. Like, that's crazy, dude. Come on. The George Floyd stuff. The fact that he said he's a Nazi. Like, what the fuck? He's literally trying. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, dude. Also, I hate to hand it to Charlemagne the God, but it's just true. I can't believe Charlemagne is the most correct on this panel. It's a sad day when Charlemagne is the most correct on any panel, really. It's crazy to see that. Anyway.
And even when he had those billion-dollar companies, what was under the hood of those companies, Dr. Umar? Where was his black staff?
I agree.
Where was his black leadership?
I agree.
You know,
and that's why right now, as I just said a minute ago, I believe Kanye's agenda is what's best for Kanye. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's about
Kanye's agenda has always been what's best for Kanye. Like, my agenda is the top of the hour ad break and serving it to you. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break, right? And if you no longer want to see those ads, my agenda is to tell you, you know, you need to subscribe. You can do that for $5. You can do that for free $99 with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You get 1 free Prime subscription a month. Okay? Or you can do that by getting lucky and getting gifted a sub. Also, there's a hype train going on too. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Okay?
what's best for black people until he shows me something else. I really believe
DJ
he
Kento,
did what he did.
thank you for the 5
to
get the
get
subs.
freed of them contracts because he has the brand and the
Kaya, thank you for the 5 get the subs.
platform and the status now where he could probably make his own sneakers and make his own music and probably sell as much, if not more, than he did before.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's not happening. No, he can't. Kanye West is not a billionaire. Kanye West is not a billionaire or didn't become a billionaire because he just did everything on his own. You know what I mean? He became a billionaire because he worked with multinational mega corporations. That's number one. Number two, Kanye West is hyper targeting. Like, he is doing his Kanye best, okay? He's doing what's best for Kanye in his mind. But he's fucking so brain broken that he thinks like hyper targeting white supremacists and white nationalists is going to unironically give him a bigger boost. That's not the case. No shot. Because one, for two reasons. One, white nationalists and white supremacists do not see you as anything but a black person. Okay? That's it. So ultimately, they will use you. Okay? They will use you as a token. They will use you as a spokesperson. But that doesn't mean they like you or see you as a human. They're white supremacists. You know what I mean? They see you as a pawn. That's it. The moment that they can't use you, you're gone. You're done. Okay? And two, although America is built on white supremacist fundamentals, let's be fucking real, okay? It's true. Although America is built on white supremacist fundamentals, and as a consequence of social conditioning, a lot of people do have racist opinions, and this includes black people as well. Right? Because, you know, black kids are still going and getting an American public education from the American public schooling system that is still obfuscating the truth, that still considers anything from a black perspective to be CRT and a bad thing, right? That still doesn't do an adequate job of teaching slavery or the perspective of African slaves at the time, right? So everyone has a little piece of that. However, regardless of all of that, there's also one additional normalized moral value, and that is that racism is bad. So even racists who are out and about racist, like white supremacists, don't want to be called racist. Nazis are bad. Everybody knows this, right? So the moment that you come out and you just say like, oh yeah, well, I love Hitler or whatever the fuck, it's over. It's done. The people that would otherwise say, hey, he's one of the good ones, hell yeah, brother, most of those people are going to look to Kanye West and go, oh, no, that's not me. I'm a different kind of racist. Well, they don't even say that they're racist at all. But once you give the game away, there's a reason why a lot of Nazis do dog whistles. Okay? Is it always bad, though? Yes, it's always bad. Don't come in here and try to, like, do, like, sneaky, weird shit. Okay? That's it.
Too much
no,
credit.
I believe so.
I
I
don't
believe
believe
so.
Well,
Kanye's big.
Well, let me ask
I
you
don't believe
about Charlemagne's football team, the
We-
Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
And
I got to pee. I'll be back.
Jerry Jones.
Listen to this. Here's another example of selective morality. How is it Brett Favre, and I'm coming to Jerry, stole about $70 million?
Bro, I got zapped so fucking hard on my foot. That was insane. Wait. That was literally insane. Like, I got up and I got zapped on my foot. Dude, I think there's like an open, I don't know where this electricity is coming from, but I think it's like, it's not a humidifier thing. It literally is like, I'm charged the fuck up. My PC is not grounded or something. Why you got to pee so much? It's because I'm bottling it for your mom. She likes drinking it. It's weird, but, you know, I love her, so I got to do what I got to do.
Of poor people's money from Mississippi to help his daughter's college build a volleyball field or something.
Well, it wasn't that much, though. It was a lot.
It was up there.
Yeah, it was millions. It was millions.
It wasn't 70? It was in the doubles?
It was millions. It was multi-millions. But
Okay.
It wasn't 70. Yeah.
Anyhow, he don't get indicted. He don't get charged. No charges are being brought against Brett Favre. If a black man did the same thing, you and I know he gets crucified.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the double standard in the selective morality. Now let's come to Jerry Jones. This the same Jerry Jones who never hired a black coach. Same Jerry Jones during the Colin Kaepernick protest of 2016 said, if any of my players are caught, quote unquote, disrespecting the American flag by taking a knee, they not going to play on my team no more. This is that Jerry Jones who never stood up against any of the racism in the state of Texas, and he gets caught in the picture. September the 9th, 1957, North Little Rock High School, and then he commits 3 lies. When asked about this picture, he was part of a mob to deny a group of African Americans entry into North Little Rock High School. He says he was just there to be curious. He says neither he nor any of the other white boys or people there knew what they were going to get into. That's lie number 1. Jerry Jones had already admitted that his coach told him not to go nowhere near, that there would be trouble there. So how is it you didn't know what you was going into and nobody else there knew what you was going into when your coach told you it might be trouble and stay away from it? That was an absolute lie. And then when he was asked whether he regretted being there, he never answered the question. Where is Roger Goodell? Where's the NFL? Why isn't he being given a list of demands just like Kyrie was being given a list of demands? And check this out, to make matters worse, guess what else happened on September 9th, 1957, DJ Envy?
What's that?
President Dwight D. Eisenhower signs the 1957 Civil Rights Bill, creating the Civil Rights Commission within the Department of Justice. First act of civil rights legislation since 1875. Jerry Jones and the rest of them kids, they knew that. They were there to repudiate that presidential signing. They were also there because what happened 5 days before that? What happened on September 4th, 1957?
Was that the
10
bombing?
The Little Rock 10 tried to get into Central High School, and Governor Forbes of Arkansas instructed the National Guard not to let them in. They were called the N-word, they were spit on, they were beat on, they were threatened, they were terrorized by white folks 5 days earlier. Jerry Jones knew exactly what he was going to get into. The Supreme Court just outlawed school desegregation 3 years earlier on May 17th, 1954. He knew exactly why he was going. He was going to stop black people from coming into North Little Rock. Now, Stephen A. Smith says Jerry Jones don't deserve this. He don't deserve to be held accountable for his part in supporting one of the most racist events in American history, which was the desegregation of America's schools. He shouldn't be held accountable. Stephen A. says, since this happened 65 years ago, he should get a pass.
How many lashes for Stephen A. Smith?
Stephen A. is probably up to 150,000 lashes right now for his cooning. But listen.
That concept is an interesting one that I will say nothing on.
If Jerry Jones get a pass because he's 14, why didn't Emmett Till get a pass? He was 14. Tamir Rice, Ohio.
You need to read Adolph Reed Jr. and his son Toure Reed on contemporary black politics. I'm certainly not trying to be rude, but your takes on black Americans in the political landscape is fairly moderate and leans to the right. Wait, what? Really? I don't know what you mean by that. Like, no. I listen. A lot of liberals are fairly right wing. So I'm getting zapped. Here y'all go.
Listen to this. Here's another example of selective morality.
Dude, you can't even, it was loud when I got zapped. It was crazy. Bro, if it's not static, you need to get that checked. So here's the thing. I'm not a liberal. Adolph and his son Toure are black Marxists. No. I know. I'm saying that I'm saying that there are a lot of people, there are a lot of liberals who also engage in, like anti-black sentiment, but from a liberal perspective. And I don't mean like, oh, Karens that are like, oh, BLM, but then they call the cops on black people. Like, that's just straight up racist, right? What I'm instead talking about is the root style, like very specific type of criticism of black people, black men, cis-het black men in particular, that is insidious and it is, in my opinion, nefarious. But it is definitely a different kind of racism that you don't often, you don't even. It's like very hard for most people who consider themselves to be anti-racist. They can't even understand it. There is definitely an attitude amongst liberals that perceive black men, straight black men, as like the exact same harmful stereotypes that racist people openly say black men are like: violent, angry, spite-driven. But they don't do it in the same way that like racist white people say, where they're not like, oh yeah, black men are uppity or anything like that. They say black men are incredibly misogynistic. Black men are they are violently homophobic. Black men are super transphobic. Now, there's of course homophobia and transphobia in every community, and of course there's homophobia and transphobia in the black community as well. Okay, but this weird, paternalistic, certainly. Okay, this weirdly paternalistic attitude is just another way for, like, in my opinion, some liberals to just say the same shit that keep spitting HasanAbi. You needed to say this 2 days ago. What do you mean? I mean, I've said this a million times. I've talked about this a lot. They pair words with adjectives like aggressive, threatening, paternalistic, weirdness. Yeah, it's something that white liberals do as well. It's like almost like a way for white liberals to be able to say the same things that racist white people would say, like Republicans and conservatives would say, but not out loud. Okay? Okay? And I think that there are outlets and academics even that kind of reinforce that in America. There are definitely some even black academics that reinforce that attitude. And it's not necessarily like trying to arrive at why some level of social conservatism exists in the black community. And instead of looking at it like that and assessing it and addressing it, it more so just stays there to reinforce from yet another avenue that black men are violent, specifically straight black men. So that's it. I don't know how. I don't know what else to say about it, but that is, as a white person, as a white Turkish person who didn't grow up in a country that has a significant percentage of black people in it. Like, this is stuff that I have learned through my own experiences living in America for the past 12, 13 years. But that is and I of course still have a lot of blind spots when it comes to this thing, but that is not I try to be as open-minded as I possibly can. Where was the guy who originally said that I was referencing your adherence to the original sim framework? What do you mean? White libs essentially focus on a loud minority within the black community and end up being just as racist as conservatives. They assume the black community is ignorant when in reality it's one of the most progressive groups in America. Your tepidness towards black nationalism is a very conservative view, I think. Aren't you being kind of a white lib when you downplay the reactionary nature of movements like this by being so forgiving? No, because I have said time and time again that nationalism is an emancipatory tool against colonialism, and colonialist violence is just and adequate. Pan-African nationalism is the contemporary example of such attitudes, and it is entirely different than like white nationalism. It's entirely different than the fascist nationalism. There's also additional steps that some people go towards, and I criticize it regularly. Okay, whenever people are like anti-Semitic, or whenever people are like homophobic, misogynistic, or just otherwise conservative, you're not going to see me agree with any of that. But you know, that is Pan-African nationalists are oftentimes just simply, this is not all of Pan-Africanism. This is the reactionary side of it. Yeah, there is a reactionary side to it. Of course there is. If you think black men are, wait, what? Someone said, if you think black men are the only ones who are stereotyped like this and not black women, you're wrong. No. Of course black women are stereotyped as well. I'm specifically talking about like the age-old like angry black man, scary, angry, violent black man narrative that is reinforced by both the right. Whenever they say black people are criminals, they're talking about black men who are criminals in their minds, right? But that exact attitude is also reinforced on the left, on the liberal side, where people will say that. They will say that, but by talking about like inter-community issues, right? Liberals do this as well. Black supremacy apologist? What? Black supremacy apologist. Liz will say things like black men abandoning their kids while the black population are imprisoned at a higher rate. Why are they impoverished at a higher rate? Anyway. Liberals dehumanize black women as props to compliment themselves, which is why I feel it's different from how they treat black men. Why do you think people get defensive when you tell them this? What do you mean? It's just anti-blackness is like the most American thing. Being anti-black is like being extra American. That's just the only way that I can describe it. So of course, when something is so deeply ingrained in societal attitudes, then every avenue, no matter how like welcoming or how open-minded or how diverse they are still going to have a crumb of that. Okay? That's it. It's just the truth. Modern American black nationalism is not remotely leftist and has nothing to do with Pan-African nationalism. Come on, Hasan. No, I'm not making excuses for Dr. Umar or Farrakhan or anyone else. I'm not even saying that those guys are not conservative. They are. Of course they are. That is not true. But describing a complex situation, okay, and having a better understanding of why Dr. Umar is able to have such prominence without just washing it aside by being like, oh, it's because black people are dumb. You know what I mean? Is a little bit different. I'm sorry that you're not getting the same level of like anti-black rhetoric, even in a situation like this where I'm criticizing a prominent black figure. Okay? I know you can get that literally from every other white leftist, like pretty much. Okay? Don't worry. You can get enough of that. Why do you come here to get that too? You come here for a unique perspective, a different one. One that is still coming from an appealing white mouth, but, you know, at least one that is a little bit more different than what you are used to. Holy fuck. Also, one of the fundamental reasons why I do this is so that other people who might be at the precipice of radicalization in the other way, okay, or people who come in here can genuinely recognize that at least I get it. At least I understand where it's coming from, making it more, easier for them to be more charitable to the rest of the takes that I'm delivering here. Okay? Because, like, it's understandable, just like with trans issues, it's understandable to feel like you are under attack all the time because it is the normative position. It is incredibly normalized to be transphobic. Gender is a profoundly important part of our everyday existence. It's a profoundly important part of our identities, the way we see the world, right? Blue for boys, pink for girls. Like, even though a lot of those ideas are, of course, almost all those ideas are social conditioning, a consequence of social conditioning, and relatively new, right? It doesn't matter. You cannot escape that. You cannot escape the seeing it like that. So a lot of people have transphobic takes. It's the same for black issues as well. White supremacy is deeply normalized. Okay? So that is part of the reason why I think, because I am a white person, okay, and I meme around a lot. I think that that's part of the reason why, Black Twitter or random black people that come in here on its face might feel like I don't get it. It's understandable because most people don't get it. Same with trans people thinking I don't get it because I'm cis, right? That's it. But I do, to a certain degree, at least to the best of my abilities, get it. Anyway.
Yo, he was 12.
You getting canceled right now? Wait, what? Why? What did I do now?
Where his pass at? What about the brother in Gulfport, Mississippi, 2 months ago? Jaheim, Jalen, I'm forgetting his name, shot in the head coming out of a dollar store with his hands up. Where was his pass? Trayvon was 17. Where was his pass? Look at all the young black boys who are tried as adults in America's prisons
Like, this
right
stuff
now
is right.
serving time in adult prisons under the age of 17. Where they pass at, Stephen A? Why are we protecting privileged white men? And you know what makes it so sad? Jerry Jones don't even have to defend himself. He got black men who will jump up. Did you see Michael Irvin? This Uncle Remus? Michael Irvin says, oh, he wasn't at the front of the line. So because he wasn't at the front of the line, he less racist than the ones who's at the front. Oh, he don't look like the guy with the cigarette in his mouth. Jerry Jones is a righteous man and a great man. All white people were that way back in the day. This is Michael Irvin. All white people were that way back in the day, so we supposed to get Jerry Jones a pass. There's nothing worse.
How many lashes for Michael Irvin?
Michael Irvin get about 5,000 lashes for that. No black man should ever volunteer himself, Stephen A. Smith and Michael Irvin, to play defense attorney for a white man. Jerry Jones ain't thinking about black folks. He has yet to speak up on social justice issues. He is a racist, and he should be forced to sell the team. But it's not going to happen. Why? Because it would take the players of the NFL to protest to force him out. And we already see that our NFL athletes and our NBA athletes don't have enough courage. They're more concerned with money than they are about the movement. And that's why I'm disappointed in Deion Sanders.
Hold on one second. I don't think there's no defense. I know. I don't think there's no defense for Jerry Jones.
And there's no defense for Stephen A. Smith and Michael Irvin defending him either. Let that white man speak for himself.
And I like what
y'all don't take up for black people like that. Stephen A., you threw Kyrie under the bus. Shannon Sharp, you threw Kyrie under the bus. But soon when a white man mess up, and Shannon didn't defend Jerry Jones, but Stephen did, and Michael did. Soon when a white man make a mistake, every black man in sports media want to be defense attorney for white folks, but have no problem throwing black athletes under the bus.
And I like what Jay Williams said, that,
shout out to Jay Williams.
Yeah, Jerry Jones should be forced to denounce anti-black racism.
And he hasn't.
And he should discuss what he's learned over the past 66 years.
He ain't learned nothing. He's a privileged white man. He just as racist now as he was then. Listen, I've been studying psychology my whole life. I got a doctorate in it. I got 3 master's degrees in it. I got 2 certifications in it. You know what they tell you in psychology?
What's that?
That the human personality is largely fixed by the age of 5. 5. Jerry Jones was 14. If you're going to tell me that Jerry Jones is fundamentally a different person now, at 80, than he was at 14, let me know what major critical life experiences Jerry Jones went through that transformed the way that he thinks. Nothing at all. People saying, well, we got to give him credit. Dak Prescott talking about, look at his resume since then. Look at his resume since then, Dak Prescott. He ain't done nothing to help black folks, and Jerry Jones ain't thinking about
it. I mean, he's not wrong as far as, Jerry Jones being still a racist person. But, again, he's just fucking bringing up, he's just arguing this talking point from the most Dr. Umar way possible. people. So it's like it's weird. It's weird. It's like he's like, oh well, it's oh shit. I'm effing a little bit. It's not a copy strike. It was a minor blip.
About helping black folks.
I don't like when people say because he didn't hire a black coach, though, because just because he hired a black coach don't mean anything.
I do agree, but at least it shows you are at least concerned about how racism looks on your resume. Jerry Jones is not even concerned about how racism looks on his resume.
How many lashes should Charlamagne get for being a Cowboy fan still?
I like football.
Charlamagne,
You an Eagle fan? You like Eagles?
Nah, I'm not watching no football, no NBA no more. I'm done.
What?
I'm officially done, brother. We cannot be for the black liberation struggle and support white corporations and systems that systematically practice and defend white privilege and white racism against black people.
What about all those
what they
brothers that
did
play
to
the
Colin
sport?
Kaepernick, what about them? They just there to get it back. They not protesting. They not doing nothing. They not
Some
building
of those
no
brothers
institute.
protest.
Okay.
Dr. Umar.
Okay. Show me a rich athlete who built a relevant independent black institution in this country. Give me one. And let me tell you what they are. Independent school. Don't give me no charter school. Charter schools are public schools.
So
Don't give me no charter
LeBron
school.
James in the school he built?
That
LeBron
is a
spe-
public school,
It is,
Envy.
but
It
LeBron-
has his name on it.
But you know LeBron speaks up for black issues.
I didn't ask you about speaking. Let me go back to my question. My question was, name me a black celebrity or entertainer who has built a relevant, independent black institution.
But is that-
school,
I agree, but-
bank,
But is that the
supermarket,
That's the one-
hospital,
that's all that matters?
manufacturing, it's the heart of a community, Charlamagne. Take care of the major problems we got. Just because LeBron James got in front of a microphone and undid what he did a few weeks ago, and I want to give LeBron some props. I appreciated his comments about Jerry Jones and comparing that to the way in which they tried to castrate Kyrie. Shout out to LeBron. But now LeBron, don't pull a Shannon Sharp and a Stephen A. And right after you do something positive or say something good, you take it back by going right back to the Django character. You understand? He got to be consistent. Speech is not enough when you're worth billions. To whom much is given, Envy, much is expected. If you a billionaire talking,
So how can y'all co-sign Kanye so much? He don't do that. Kanye does not pour back into the black people.
Kanye spoke a significant truth to a significant white power
But he don't pour
that
back into
controls
black people.
I agree. I just
Dude, that's so funny. No, he's just defending Kanye because he's like, yeah, he's anti-Semitic and I like that. That's it. He literally just wants to ride Kanye. And he's just straight up like, no, he's right about the Jews though. That's why. But he's not. So. It's so weird that like. It's so odd to just like maintain the Kanye thing. And very obviously on like the anti-Semitism front, like as though this is a truth that must be spoken. Like
LeBron didn't have infrastructures full of black people making
I'm going to
capital.
ask you again. What institution that's relevant has been built by a black athlete or celebrity this century? I need an answer.
But you just mean school banking and
Relevant.
Okay.
LeBron James started a movement against voter disenfranchisement. Walk through the streets of Brooklyn, walk through the streets of Harlem, walk through the streets of the Bronx, walk through the streets of Queens, walk through the streets of Staten Island, and ask black people, what are the top 5 problems black people have in America? I promise you, voter suppression ain't one. Voter suppression ain't one. Come on, y'all. If we want to solve our problems, we got to get serious.
okay, he's not wrong. I know everyone's gonna say, "Oh my God." No, everyone's gonna say, "Oh my God." Well, voting is the one method to like actually fucking bring wealth in the black community. It's not true. It's not true. He's not wrong about that. He's right. No, dude. Black people are suffering Because they don't have fucking funds. They don't have good schools. They do not have good fucking social programs. They have been systematically disenfranchised, and no restitution has occurred. And like, yeah, voting is a significant proportion, certainly. I mean, it does happen. Voter suppression does happen. But it's not like, I mean, black women specifically have been voting, 98% for the Democratic Party in perpetuity. What has the Democratic Party given back? Other than, Kamala Harris is VP now. Like, oh, sick, dude. Ketanji Brown Jackson, who was actually good. I mean, better than the rest of the Supreme Court justices, ironically.
And black athletes have been cooning for far too long.
I know you being hard
They're
on some of
more
them brothers,
concerned about money than making a difference.
I know we got to go, but Deion Sanders, you were talking about Deion Sanders.
Uh-huh. Deion.
What's your thoughts on Deion
Everybody
Sanders?
been texting me about this all week.
Talk to me about Deion, Dr. Umar.
Mind you, before you get into it, Charlemagne gave Donkey today to people that would criticize him.
I know.
That's right.
And I'm coming right at it.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm coming right at it.
Let's go.
More lashes.
I'm coming right at more lashes. When Deion Sanders stood against Colin Kaepernick's protest in 2016, I branded him a Negro peon.
He did?
Yes, he did. He said he did. I saw him say it out his mouth on an interview. He said he should not have taken that knee. It was wrong. Deion Sanders.
Oh, my
I
God,
put him
really?
in the Negro peon camp because he didn't stand with Colin Kaepernick. When I heard Deion Sanders was taking the job, I said, okay, I'm going to give him his black pass back. Because here you are, one of the top 5 greatest athletes, arguably the greatest football player ever, including Tom Brady. Deion could go down as greater than. You go to Jackson State, HBCU. That's impressive. Now I hear all of a sudden you might be leaving.
Well,
So
he's leaving.
Oh, he's gone.
he's
Stay
gone.
in.
Stay with me. He's wrong. But I have 2 levels of wrong. I got a low level and I got a high. I'll explain them to you quickly. My low level. If Deion told the administration and the students and the players at Jackson State that I'm taking this job, but I need y'all to know, if something better comes along, as soon as it comes along, I may be leaving you.
He did say that.
He said that.
If he was that transparent, I didn't see that.
I played the clip the other day. He said it on 60 Minutes. He said that.
No, he said he may be leaving. He did not say he was leaving after 3 years.
No, he said that if a Power 5 school comes
office,
along,
yes.
I have to entertain it. I would be a fool not to. And Deion has
That's
always
not
been
the same.
No, Deion has always been transparent and open about what his goals were.
That is not, no, I disagree with you. He told them if it comes his way, he would have to entertain it. He never said I would leave you that soon. He never said I can be gone in 3 years.
What does it matter, though? His contract was
I'm
only
going to tell
for
you
4.
why it matters. I'm about to tell you right now
Okay.
why it matters. Because he damn wrong. Now, if he told them, if I'm going to go back and study some more, but from what I seen him say, he was not that direct. But
Definitely
if he was, and that's not what I saw, so we disagree there. But if he was, he's still wrong, but it's a low level because at least you was transparent and you gave him informed consent. They knew you could leave at any time.
That's right.
Okay? Still wrong. I'm going to explain in a minute. Now, if he didn't tell them that, okay, and I'm hearing from people who know athletes on that team that they were not told it that way,
They weren't listening.
and they're upset.
Because he said that on 60 Minutes.
Okay? He didn't say it that way, Charlamagne. I
Yes,
saw
he
that.
did.
He
That's
did
an
not.
exact
No,
quote.
he didn't.
Exact
Now,
quote.
if he did not do it that way, that automatically means that Deion Sanders used, abused, and exploited HBCU Jackson State just to be given an opportunity to show predominantly white institutions that he could coach. If he only used them as a stepping stone to getting a job at a white college, he was dead wrong. Now, let me tell y'all why this is bigger than football. What case is the Supreme Court reviewing right now?
The
Right now,
affirmative action case against black, what is it, for black students in colleges?
Absolutely. The U.S. Supreme Court right now is reviewing whether or not racially conscious admissions in higher education are unconstitutional. And guess who is bringing the suit? Asians. But guess who's funding the suit? White people with connections to the
It's just like, God, Dr. Umar is such an interesting person to fucking watch because, like, no, don't say what. He's not wrong. It's true. Dude, I said the same shit. What do you mean? It's literally true. The Supreme Court case had institutions that literally picked specific Asian people that they could use in the forefront of the conversation, but the institutions were literally directed by white conservative dudes. It's just so funny because he's like so correct and then so insanely incorrect all the time. I mean, I have literally covered this multiple times as a story. Anyway, but yeah, it is. He is ping-ponging good and bad takes, like really good takes and then really fucking bad takes. That's what the right-wing conservative institution did. The organization did. They used like Asian people to say, oh, they're actually discriminating against Asian people. Like when it was just a fucking another reactionary, predominantly white organization that was just doing it for their own purposes.
6 conservative justices on the United States Supreme Court bench. So, what they're saying is Asians are discriminated against on the basis of the personality aspect of the admissions process at Harvard and the University of North Carolina, among other universities, by subjecting Asians to that personality assessment, which includes personality, background, social economic status, culture, this, that, who you are, what you want to be. Asians are being penalized for their high test scores and grades. So what the Asians want and what the white folks who are funding the Asians want is they want the Supreme Court to say you cannot include race at all as a factor in higher education admissions. If they throw that out, if they say Harvard cannot use the personality assessment portion of the admissions process, the percentage of Asians that get accepted into PWIs goes up by 20%, and the percentage of black students will plummet by at least 50%. You know what that means? You are watching the gentrification of black children off of the PWI campus. How is this relevant to Deion Sanders? The reason I'm so personally disappointed in Deion is I thought he was there for a movement, not for money. Meaning, Deion Sanders, the coach of Jackson State, I foresaw a situation where Deion would hire other coaches, other retired black NFL greats to coach other HBCUs. In doing so, you attract our top tier high school athletes to come to HBCU.
Maybe.
Stay with me.
Eddie George is at Tennessee State.
Stay with me. Football and you know, like I know, if you got top tier NFL greats.
Did you say he was going to coach for a movement? Yeah, dude. There's a big fucking discrepancy in black athletes versus black coaches. Another thing that I have talked about a lot. Chat, you got to fucking examine your biases. Like, I mean, Dr. Umar is you know, not always correct or anything, but sometimes he is making correct points, especially on this issue. Like when he talks about like what Deion Sanders' significance is, and I, as a fucking person who doesn't know anything about sports and doesn't care, even still understand this reality. There is a major discrepancy. There's a pay discrepancy. There's a pay gap between black coaches and white coaches. And there's a major discrepancy. Football is played by black people, but as far as coaching goes, black people are nowhere to be found. There's like 2 or 3 in the NFL. There's a very little amount of black coaches. And that is an institutional discrepancy. It's reinforced by the institution because the team owners have, it's like the racist trope, like, oh, well, black quarterbacks can only run and they get injured, whereas like a white quarterback is actually smart and makes plays. It's literally that extended into coaching. That in and of itself is racist and stupid, right? Hey, yo, what? What am I alone here? What do you mean? This is like anyone. Okay, I guess chatters don't really watch football at all. It is a thing that is said all the time. There is definitely a stereotype of black quarterbacks. Anyway. So basically, it's exactly that same fucking trope, but reinforced into the coaching, reinforced within the coaching structure as well. Less athletic directors, not a lot of black athletic directors out there, no black GMs out there. You know what I mean? So like, you're not hiring from the deep pocket of talent within the community of retired football players, overwhelming majority of which are black, right? And you're not putting them into assistant coaching positions. You're not putting them into different varying degrees within the coaching structure, because there just aren't black people there, and they don't think about it like that. They have the same old racist attitudes. So what Dr. Umar is saying here is correct, because he's saying that, like, if you have someone like Deion Sanders in a position of power coaching, Deion Sanders is going to uplift other examples. Not only is he going to promote being a black coach, but he's going to be able to bring in other black coaches.
Coaching HBCUs, the athletes are coming just like they was coming for Deion. He showed you, Charlamagne.
Deion, though.
He showed
Dr.
you.
Umar.
And his other one's just
Deion,
as
one
great.
of the most famous people ever.
And his other one's just as great. So listen.
Eddie George at Tennessee State.
That's one person. We talking about a system, not an individual. So Deion and these other coaches bring all these athletes from high school to play football, basketball, so forth. The revenue of the HBCU goes up, Envy. As a result of the revenue going up, Charlamagne, the schools got more money. They don't have to subject themselves to closure.
Oh, by the way, ultimately, I do think it's copium. I think he might be in the wrong here. He just like feels disappointed that Deion left HBCU, and he's trying to do ad hoc justifications for it by claiming that, like, what, Deion Sanders is not going to have any institutional power as a black coach at a bigger, larger, more famous team. Like, if he has the power at a HBCU, he's going to have it in a predominantly white largely white college. Like, he did sell out, and it's like a weird way to, like, as far as I understand, it's like he did sell out, and it's a weird way to try to justify it. Yeah, the real point is to attract the athletes to the HBCU, which is I don't think Deion Sanders is able to clear that institutional hurdle.
Can't say when you'll see me. Can't say when you'll see me. Don't seem to believe me.